I'm Christoph. I'm CEO of Sensolus. We are actually 7 years in business, and I'm quite proud because we actually last 2 weeks ago we did a Series B investment round. We're growing quite importantly in the digital supply chain and logistics. I'm just going to tell you today who we are, but also what is making a difference for a lot of our customers and the things that we do. So first of all, let me start with the real problem, the real need. And I start with the case of one of our main customers. They have a lot of assets. They have a lot of non-powered assets, which can be packaging, can be pallets, can be all types of structures with parts, and they are all over their supply chain. They have quite a lot of them. And typically they do lose some of them, so they get misplaced. Once they get misplaced, you can imagine they have a production issue because the pallet or the item that they really need is not in place. So suddenly they have to find it out. So it's a lot of unexpected handling, unexpected charges to have high-speed logistics, for example, or ad hoc logistics. And what is, of course, a lot of our customers are also suffering complexity of third-party logistics and a lot of subcontractors. As you can see the environment in the picture, it's a typical environment in which we are very active. It's a lot of indoor, it's combined with outdoor. They need additional sensing, humidity, temperature, and so on. So it's quite of a complex case. So today, we have quite some assets connected with them directly to our platform. So today they can easily find all those type of assets. They know how to manage the stock. They have inventories. They have much easier routing, so they can actually improve that thing. And I think what's one of the most important is they have pre-compliance. So they know if parts have left at certain locations. They get this insight. They get this details. So they get vision. They get visibility on the things they are actually out there in their supply chain and logistics. And I think this is actually the most important thing is this now it's become a data-driven thing. So they are really putting the data in front of any decision. And even if they change flows, they use this type of data to improve the processes. So what do we offer? It's a truly plug and play end-to-end solution. So it's a complete solution to optimize business processes and supply chain, which the non-powered assets have a crucial role. So keep that in mind. Because we offer a sensor, which is actually one of the key elements to get those things up and running, which needs to be installed in less than 1 minute, needs to work more than 5 years. And one of the key things is it has to work with a minimal or no infrastructure. All our customers do not want to put a complete framework of infrastructure at all their locations. It's not flexible enough. It's too expensive. It just doesn't work. What do they create? They build their own logics, alerts, they build their own reporting. They actually will tailor the complete supply chain based on alerts and everything relates to that. They do it in own systems or in our systems because we have a complete hybrid setup there. We offer different services. It can be location service, can be orientation, motion analytics, sensing services. And today we have for different customers, as you can see the logos in the slide, already more than 100,000 of those assets connected on our backend systems. So how it works, very simple. You take a sensor, you put it 100% self-install. It's outdoor and indoor high precision. So outdoor, most famous of course, GPS location. Everybody knows that quite well. You have now also high precision GPS. It's a more difficult case, but they are the first R&D projects up and running. We also do some indoor. Indoor can be wide area, let's say kilometer, but we can actually narrow down up to 2 meters. I will get you more in details later on, but we see customers now asking a combined situation. Connecting, so again, as I mentioned, we work on public networks. Today, we are mainly in Europe, we work on Sigfox, but of course, we are LP1 specialists. So we do know LoRa, we do know narrowband, we do know LTE, we do know also the other cellular things, which have other constraints, of course. So it's more a mix and match depending on the real needs of our customers. What is quite key, no infra. We do not want to place antennas. We do not want to place gateways such as RFID gateways and stuff like that. This is what we're skipping. And then, of course, it's a cross-industry portal, which is, of course, we have a front end, we have supply chain analytics, we have all this in place because we have all type of customers, but you also have plugins, data plugins, which allows actually that the data comes directly, for example, in Microsoft Azure or another type of existing platform that's already enabling our customers. So what is key there is we offer affordable tracking with a minimal change. So this is the key ingredient. It's a really lean grow model. So you can start with 100 assets, you can grow up to 10,000 assets, depending on your needs. We can actually follow you in your rhythm. That's all possible with Sensolus. So today, that was the intro, what we do and where we are. I will use my last 7 to 8 minutes specifically on the combination of the LP1 and the Bluetooth. I think most of you, and this is actually the pinpoint where we have been acting a lot the last year, and we see a lot of things happening, and we call it the match made in heaven. Because LP1, it comes with its constraints, like a payload constraint. It has its battery advantages, but it has its infrastructure. It has its range because it's a wide area network. On the other hand, you have the Bluetooth stack, which is a common protocol. It's everywhere. It's cheap components. It's a standard, actually. It's a standard, and it will become also an Industry 4.0 standard. We all know it from laptops, headsets, but it's everywhere. Even a drilling machine in the aerospace today is Bluetooth enabled. So I will give you 3 cases how we solved and cracked the nut with customers, specifically to this match. So one of the first field challenges we had is we are all over this place, monitoring all type of different assets. And what actually happens is suddenly they ask us, yeah, Christoph, I need something more because I want to know the temperature. And another customer, I want to know if the door is open or closed. And another customer, I want to know, for example, if something is inside my box. All those typical things are very specific elements that make exactly the need you have in your process. That's the information you need. We have 2 options there. First of all, let's create a customer's custom sensor, which is perfect to fit the need of the customer. One problem, you need volume and you need a very long time to get this to market. Building hardware, you need volume contracts to get it affordable. And there's a typical IoT chicken or egg problem. So it works, but then you have to shoot for the big customer, big process, and take 2 years to get it into the full market. The option 2 is let's create a Swiss Army sensor. Let's create something that fits all or most purposes and stuff like that. That's a good idea, and many of companies are doing that. It's typically what we call the development kit revolution, where everybody has Arduinos wired with stuff. It does not scale, and it's not affordable. Let's be honest, you cannot put everywhere this type of generic sensors. You need pinpoint, affordable, scalable sensors. So we solve this quite simple by using our existing product, which is in the middle, which is actually an LP1 enabled tracker, but we use it as a gateway. So this tracker is always non-powered, communicating directly to the internet, providing all this type of data on a Sigfox network, can be on an LTE network, whatever. But on the other hand, we couple with a lot of existing trackers which are existing on Bluetooth. And there are many out there. There are all different types of temperature sensors, all different types of humidity sensors, contact sensors. We have water intrusion sensors, CO2 sensors, NOx sensors. You call it, you name it, it exists. We do a lot of validation on the type of sensors, and we integrate this with our existing technology. So we create type of a gateway concept, completely wireless, multiple years without infrastructure. A second challenge, and I think a lot of you will know, and I took the picture explicitly here, because everybody wants to know indoor. So the outdoor challenge is great, and it gets resolved quite easily, but then we go to the indoor. How do we get an exact location? I know there are many solutions out there which will actually say, well, there's a lot of high precision technologies, such as an ultra wideband. We've tested it, we've seen it with a lot of our customers, always the same thing. It's a CapEx, it's expensive. Okay, it's quite precise, works quite good. 10 centimeter accuracy is really XYZ possible. But Christoph, it's complex, and certainly in a third-party situation. Other option, let's start manual registration, scanning, putting it where it needs to be. It's even a step between RFID and you really going to the manual registrations. The problem is, again, it's complex and it's prone to error, so it doesn't work. So what do we do? Back to the Bluetooth stuff. Very simple. We use beacons. So we have a complete beacon management system where you put wireless beacon sensor, completely wireless, battery powered. You just put them at specific locations, and we can actually create zones of interest. We're quite good in that. So today we do typically, as you can see in the picture, we can create zones. And those zones are actually, we install big warehouses in less than 4 hours, and you get a complete zone thing. It's quite important because actually it resolves the complete problem with 70% less costs. And most of our customers always say, Christoph, this is a perfect Pareto. You just do much less. It's so simple, stick and track, easy as a sticker. You put some light infrastructure and we get the zones. So it's enough for us. It works. It just doesn't have to be 10 centimeter accurate. We just need to know where it is in the zones. The third challenge, and also the picture is quite important here, you see massive boxes. Once you go into massive operations, you will see massive boxes, and there is one problem, they mostly all look the same. So you have to find them back. So what do? First of all, you say, let's do predefined placement processes. Put them on the lots where they are dedicated to, like you can see here. That works quite well, but when we look at the space of our customers, if you want to change the process, you actually want to dump them just somewhere, randomly put them anywhere and make sure you have control, because it's much easier. Secondly, it's much more space saving, and also it will help you actually to optimize your square meters. If you do predefined, you have errors. You don't have a backup option either if it's misplaced. Again, ultra wideband, high precision. The big problem again, infrastructure and very complex. So how we solve it very simply, everybody has actually Bluetooth in his pocket. It's a smartphone, guys. Every smartphone is enabled today with Bluetooth, and it's actually a very smart receiver if you think about it. So again, we turn around the same principle. Our assets talk in Bluetooth. We use infrastructure, which is very low power infrastructure like stickers, and we combine that, for example, with smartphones to make sure the last meter visibility, proximity detection based on apps and stuff like that. So it's just 3 challenges I just shortly explained you, but keep the main message. We are here to go in a no infrastructure, affordable tracking of non-powered assets. We have done it before with many customers on a global scale with 100K assets in the field, completely relying on our technology stack. Why do we use Bluetooth? Because it brings additional features in the game related to indoor, additional sensors, finding back some stuff on the field, or interacting with your user or end users or operators through smartphone. So this is what we do. It was a focus on Bluetooth, but I would say reach out, because just Bluetooth is probably even not 10% of all the things that we do out there. So it's just a small focus point to get your attention. If you have questions, reach out and we will be very happy to show you much more on the things that we're doing. Thank you.